JCI, Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce, JCs, and even the Young Men's Group. Regardless of the name, JCI Winnipeg has had a long and illustrious history over the past 90 years in our great city. This is the story of our history, as well as a reflection on some of the proud Manitobans and JCI members who helped us to become the success story that we are today. Business in Winnipeg was born in 1868 when J.A. Ashdown purchased $1,000 in stock and opened a small tin shop in a 16 by 18 foot room. This small store became the symbol of growth and prosperity many needed to encourage their entrepreneurial spirit to flourish. After a few struggles by the businessmen in Winnipeg, a monumental bill was passed incorporating the Winnipeg Board of Trade, the future Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce, in 1873. But as many of us know, plans do not always run smoothly. It took an additional 6 years, till April 11th, 1879 to be exact, until the board was finally registered and its charter was created. This actually relates to the fact that the chamber is older than the city of Winnipeg itself by 6 months, as Winnipeg wasn't fully incorporated until November 8th, 1873. Even in the beginning, business was the foundation of the city many of us call home. The Winnipeg Board of Trade's first president was the Honorable A.G.B. Bannatyne, who held their first annual general meeting on January 14th, 1880. The board met in the cellar of Bannatyne's home every afternoon during those early years, which is now Main Street and Bannatyne Avenue, thus beginning the connection that JCI Winnipeg has to the downtown area of our city. In 1908, the Board of Trade moved into the original Grain Exchange building at 164 Princess Street, which was constructed with the intention of hosting the offices of the Board of Trade as they were outgrowing their space in the old Winnipeg City Hall. This building serves as the facade of one of Winnipeg's premier post-secondary schools, Red River College downtown campus, where many JCI members are proud alumni. Membership for the Winnipeg Board of Trade was always a concern for the organization. In 1920, the group was proud to boast a membership of 1,560 members, but unfortunately, it dropped dramatically to 696 by 1924. In 1925, the president of the Winnipeg Board of Trade, Travers Sweatman, found the transition within the city's elite to be the reason for concern. Winnipeg lacks leadership. It is in that state of its development when those old stalwarts who took part in its greatest development, which culminated in 1912, have either retired to a well-earned rest or unsettled in some other part of the world. During the last 10 years, it has been impossible for the younger men to come forward and take their places. Thus, Winnipeg has been passing through a critical period in her history when she has very much lacked the leadership and in this connection. I would like to say that one of the difficulties of the Winnipeg Board of Trade has been to obtain the support of the younger businessmen of the city, the bulk of whom can be found in the various service clubs. Little did Sweatman know that, in the U.S., this attempt to bring young business people together was becoming a reality. It was back in 1915 when a U.S. man named Henry Geisenbauer Jr. had the idea that people could change the world. It was in his hometown of St. Louis, Missouri, that he created the Young Men's Civic Association, which later became the Junior Chamber of Commerce in 1918. From 1918 to 1945, his vision spread across 3 continents until, in 1945, 18 delegates from around the world came together to sign a treaty, thus creating Junior Chamber International. In Winnipeg, 1923 was the official start of the Young Men's section of Winnipeg Board of Trade, also referred to as the Winnipeg Junior Chamber, and for short, the JCs. This is the first chapter of the Junior Chamber outside of the United States, anywhere in the world. The idea of creating the Young Men's section was partially that of Paul Duval, a lawyer, soldier, and prominent judge in the city, as the co-founder and first president, along with Leonie St. Clair's ward, who was the first vice president. Their goal was to fulfill Sweatman's desire to take on this new leadership role, and the dream was successful. The Young Men's section raised the Board of Trade membership back up to 1,400 by 1929. The unofficial motto of the Winnipeg Junior Chamber, the first in Canada, has long been, "We put the I in JCI." Other Canadian chapters soon followed, but this is not the only slogan that JCI has used over the years. Records from the early existence of the Young Men's section show the historical celebratory cheer of our city was, "Winnipeg, Winnipeg, gateway of the West, always growing greater, never growing less. Winnipeg, Winnipeg, we are not so slow. We are always boasting, everywhere we go." The Young Men's section has always been known for their volunteer efforts in the community. One of the most memorable occurred when Winnipeg was invaded by Nazi forces on February 19th, 1942. This event, If Day, was a simulated Nazi invasion of the city and surrounding area in order to raise money for victory bond sales by showing Winnipeggers what it would be like if Nazis really did occupy our city. The Nazi troops were volunteers from the Young Men's Board using uniforms rented from Hollywood with painted scars on their faces. Over $3 million was collected in Winnipeg on that very day. One of the proudest ways that JCI Winnipeg has given back to the city over the years has been through the involvement of the Winnipeg Santa Parade. Eaton's department store held its first Winnipeg Santa Parade in 1909, but due to rising costs, Eaton's organized its last parade in 1965. Captain George Smith of the East Kildonan Fire Department, on behalf of the Winnipeg Firefighters Club, bought the parade from Eaton for $1.50, thus starting the community-based format for the parade that has continued to this day. In 1975, the Winnipeg JCs, now JCI Winnipeg, were asked to continue the community tradition, and the organization took over the stewardship of the Winnipeg Santa Claus Parade exclusively until 2004. JCI Winnipeg, the City of Winnipeg, and Manitoba Hydro have since joined forces, rolling their individual events into one large and very successful Winnipeg Santa Claus Parade. Around the city, around the world. Junior Chamber International is making an impact wherever they are. Leadership, positivity, community involvement, empowerment. It is all really about be better, today and for the years to come.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence. The cars were cutting like knives in a fist fight, and I found you with a bottle of wine, your head in the curtains, and heart like the 4th of July. You swore and said we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. Though I've never been through hell like that, I've closed enough windows to know you can never look back. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. So I met up with some friends at the edge of the night at a bar off 75.